we have a wonderful group of dedicated volunteers, our garden ambassadors, who help us maintain the studio gardens. This year, they also designed 2 of our beds. We looked earlier this season at the Patriotic Garden, and today we'll be looking at the Bridge Garden. And joining me is Ambassador Billy Richardson.
Good morning, Kim.
Good morning. Well, you were involved with designing this bed this year. Could you tell me a little about the theme that you chose for this?
We chose morning, noon, and evening too.
Okay. Can you describe that a little bit?
Yes. We wanted plants that would be very nice to all day long.
Okay.
That people could come and visit at any time of the day and see blooming plants. We wanted something that would be really pretty at night garden. And we also chose plants that had either day or night or something to do with time of day in the names.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you actually oriented the plants from east to west.
We did.
Corresponding with the time of day in their name or when they bloom, is that right?
Correct, yes. We have morning glories on the east and Moonflower on the west.
Okay.
And Tammy had built the bridge, and so we had a wonderful trellis for those climbing plants already, and we worked around that.
Absolutely. Now, this was your first design that you drew out on paper. Can you tell me a little bit about that process?
That was a learning process, and that was, it took a long time. There, 3 of us researched the plants, and then I took the layout home and worked finally with colored pencils, and we had to deal with plant height, plant widths, bloom time, mature size, color, and get all that coordinated. It was really a challenge.
And we talked a little bit earlier about the mature size being a really important factor to consider in the design.
Right. I had way too many plants in my design. Tammy had to do some weeding before we ever got anything in the ground.
Wonderful. Well, let's look at some of the plants that support the theme morning, noon, and evening too. And on the east end of the bridge, we have our morning glories, and this blend is called Sunrise Blend. And as the name suggests, morning glories open up in the morning. The flowers open in the cool hours of the morning. And this mixture has 7 different varieties, and the flower colors are all different. So we have the purples and blues and pinks and whites. It's a really delightful mixture here. And you've also used the Miscanthus called Morning Light, and, you know, part of the namesake here. And this is a great variety with that white variegation on the edge, makes those leaves look almost silvery in the light. And this time of year we get the nice fluorescence on the top as well.
We also used the grass to simulate a fountain because we have a dry creek bed. One of the ambassadors suggested that we have a bridge, we need a creek. And we had no water here, so we did a gravel bed, and we have the grasses as fountains, and then we have a waterfall at the other end. So
excellent.
We also used the Big Sky series of echinacea. And those have names like sunset, twilight, sunrise. So we were really thrilled with that group.
Excellent. As we move toward the west side of the bridge, we have plants that are more representative of the afternoon and the evening. Growing on the bridge itself, we have this Moonflower with these delightful white flowers. These are beautiful.
They're so big.
And typically they open up at night. They're still open because it's cool right now, but they'll close up later in the day.
Okay. On this side, we also use silver foliage and white blooms that would really shine at night. And we have Dusty Miller
here.
And white caladiums and some other white flowers that are not in bloom this time of day.
This time of day. Yeah.
And sunset coleus,
That's
because of the name.
And that's a garden favorite, absolutely.
True. And then we've added lighting too, because this would be an evening garden, so we need some lights. And there's a lantern hanging in the bridge garden, and then the sidewalk lights along the creek.
is a beautiful garden. You guys really outdid yourself. Thank you so much for sharing this with us
Yes,
today.
you're welcome. We really enjoyed doing it.